certainly we are really excited with the outcome or how we played, but you got to give a lot of credit to Nebraska. They showed you why they're a nationally ranked team and how their pressure defense really sets the tone for their program and what they build their program around. And they have unbelievable offensive weapons, and they have arguably one of the top 2 or 3 point guards in all the land, and 2 really talented shooting post players that you're going to see play professional basketball. And so we got a taste of what the upper level of this conference is like, and I'm proud that our kids never quit. We battled the finish line. That's the culture we're trying to create. It's not about wins and losses this year. I don't always think that we went toe-to-toe and battled with the intensity that we needed, but we never quit. We kept fighting and scratching and clawing to the end, and we'll learn from this, but you certainly see what the upper level of the Big Ten is capable of doing to us because we're so limited offensively. But we'll get back in the film room. We're walking into a much-needed bye date to get everybody a little bit healthy. Jasmine's ankle healthy, get everybody back from concussions. The unintended consequences when you have kids out with concussions, they don't do anything. And so we've had 3 of our kids that are on scholarship have concussion issues over the last couple weeks. So all 3 of those guys have really lost conditioning. So it affects the overall team. And an hour before the game, I thought I had 6 scholarship players for tonight. Fortunately, 2 players gutted it out, with Sasha coming back from her concussion to give us a few minutes, and Jasmine with her ankle injury. So, so it was a tough week of preparation with only 6 scholarship kids. But we battled, and we'll get better, and hats off to Nebraska for a nice game.
Coach, when you look at the Nebraska team, I see some similarities between the kind of style that you want to run and what they run in terms of the post players being able to shoot from 3. Is that kind of a program that you look at and say, wow, that's almost a great thing for me to shoot for? Do you kind of take away some similarities from that?
Well, I shared with our fans that had access to me this week. If you want to know what I believe our team will look like in 3 or 4 years, they just saw it. Very, very good point play. Post players that have versatility to play inside and out, and a team that gets after you every single possession. And, that's what we want our team to look like in 3 or 4 years. That's what we believe will look like in 3 or 4 years. And so, that is a fair comparison of, where we want to shoot for. And they're really, really talented at both ends of the court.
How good is it to see, after kind of a cold shooting start, to see Alani hit that 3 about halfway through the first half to kind of spark that run that got you guys within 3?
There's so much pressure on Alani to score for us, and she never shies away. She was hunting for offense, and she made some tough shots, and at times they lost her and made a few mistakes. And when you have a player that can make shots and shoot a high percentage, all you have to do is create a little bit of an opening. And Lonnie found some tonight, but it's hard because we're so limited offensively in other positions. We got no points from our starting post game tonight, 0 from our 4 and 5. We went 1 for 9 from the floor from the point guard spot. And, if you would have told me before the game we would only have 10 turnovers, that's the lowest amount of turnovers that Nebraska has forced this year, the number 1. We handled the ball, but you can tell that turning people over is not the only way to really change the game with pressure. We didn't turn it over, but we never cleanly and smoothly got into offense tonight. So their pressure still was very effective against us. But if you would have told me before the game that we would only have 10 turnovers, no one that they've played this year have done that. And so we handled the ball, but we did not smoothly get into offense, and our point guards have got to learn from all that pressure. But we only had 4 people score tonight, and with no starting post players scoring, it puts so much pressure on Lonnie. It puts pressure on Jasmine, who's certainly not nearly 100%. Literally, an hour before the game, we did not think she was going to play, and Jasmine gutted it out. So, we have to keep games low scoring, and there's a lot of pressure on, our kids that can score to score because we don't have a lot of weapons.
Coach, Alani made a 3 to bring it to 19-15 in the first half, and then Nebraska finished the remaining 6 minutes on an 18-2 run. This isn't the first time we've sort of seen the team struggle to close out a first half. What do you think the team can do to improve on that? And do you think that was sort of the turning point in tonight's game?
Absolutely, and that's the exact math that we talked about at halftime. It was 19-15. They finished the half on an 18-2 run, and all of a sudden you're down 20. And as you look at that 18-2 run, a lot of it came from points off of offensive rebounds. It came from transition points. It came from points off turnovers, and not necessarily execution in the half court. And so it was a disappointing way to end the half. It was an 11-0 run. They ended 18-2 run overall. And what I shared with the kids is that we don't have enough offensive firepower to absorb a run like that. And that's what's so hard. One run can beat our Indiana team right now. And I told them that I never felt the passion and the energy that it was 19-15. I don't feel like we ever felt it was 19-15. And it was. I mean, they did not play a great early offensive game against us. And that's a credit to us. We went to halftime, one basket by Moore, who's going to be a WNBA point guard, one basket by Hooper, who's going to be a WNBA post, and two baskets by Katie. We only gave up 4 baskets to their superstars. We wanted other people to score, but to their credit, Theriot had a great game and made a lot of shots that we wanted her to try to take, and Loudermill off the bench made a lot of tough shots. So, you know, credit to them that their role players stepped up and made shots when we did not do a bad job on their superstars in the first half.
How much of that pressure you talked about kind of wears on you guys and is maybe a factor in a half-closing run like that as well?
Absolutely. I mean, their whole philosophy is to wear you down. I mean, they call the ball pressure the hounder. I mean, they hound the ball. They take pride in it. It is a big aspect of their program. They talk about hounding and wearing you down. That's their whole philosophy of wearing down point guards. And so, you know, and we didn't melt into turnovers, but everybody watched us struggle to get into offense cleanly and to complete passes or to run any semblance. When they've gotten beat this year, it wasn't necessarily great offensive execution. It was teams scrambled and made plays, just making plays. When Creighton beat them, Creighton was taking out a lot of offenses, but they did a great job of keeping their dribble and had aggressive penetration and then shared the basketball and made a boatload of open shots. And we couldn't get into offenses, but we don't have a lot of playmakers just to go make one-on-one plays. And you have to make some one-on-one plays against Nebraska.
Coach, can you talk about Jasmine's effort tonight playing through the ankle? You said earlier, I think it was yesterday, that it's just a pain threshold for her. There's no more damage that can be done. What does that mean to you that she's willing to stick through the pain?
You know, I'm really proud of Jasmine. You know, and when she played, she didn't show, you know, she didn't have her explosive athleticism and rebounding that could help us. We get crushed on the board. But that shows some toughness and guts that she wants to be out there fighting for this team and fighting for her teammates. 1 hour before the game, she was still a no-go. The adrenaline got going, she got moving, and she looked at the trainer and said, "Please let me play." So really proud of Jasmine, and she gutted it out tonight with a bye date. She wasn't going to create any more injury. It was just a pain tolerance, and she stepped up and played through that pain, and now we have a much-needed bye date.
What have you seen from Simone late? I mean, just her past 2 performances have been, you know, outstanding. What have you seen from her, you know, on a day-to-day basis?
Well, fantastic. I mean, she's our most physical post, and she's rebounding the basketball for us when she's in. Tonight, when we did she was the only post that really could make something happen with her back to the basket. And, you know, she's put together 2 really, really good games. And you have to recognize that. I like her coming off the bench, but you have to discuss the fact maybe Simone's the starting center for the rest of the year. And she's really earned that. And I'm proud of her that she keeps playing and playing hard. That's 2 really good Big Ten games back-to-back.
Jeremy, last one. You mentioned the lack of scholarship players. Can you update the status of Candace Usry along those lines?
Yes. Candace quit the basketball team after she officially quit the basketball team on Monday. And was immediately looking to transfer. She hopes to be enrolled by tomorrow at another institution. We've supported her desire to go look for more playing time, and we're helping her out as best we can in a really short time that she's trying to get admitted and start at a new school. And we hopefully that is all completed by the end of the week. And we wish her the best and certainly understand the desire of Division I athletes, desire to play and playing time. And with multiple point guards signed in the 2013 class, and her playing currently behind Andrea and Nicole, I don't hold it against her and really support her looking for another